There's something in the air in Emmitsburg. Is it early February chill with temperatures right around freezing? Or is it buzz for the start of another lacrosse season? Probably a bit of both, as Mount St. Mary's opens its 2025 home slate against Long Island.
3-2 to Hubbinger. Walker's pitch is an off-speed, ripped out to deep left center. Wave it bye-bye. A moonshot from Joey Hubbinger, and McDaniel is back on top.
Running in transition, that's Pusey. Pusey, dish one, dish two, dish three, behind the back! Gianni Karam, are you normal? Spectacular finish, cut the deficit to 2. Inside the 12, inside the 8, inside the net. Passing and the finish, MK Allingham gets on the board, and the Mount leads 5-1 nearing the end of the first.
And LIU playing some make it take it right now. That's Hill, fires, scores! The Sharks, a roaring start, 4 goals in just over 4 minutes.
Line drive into right field for a base hit. 1 run is in. Hubbinger coming home. Here's the throw, not in time. We are tied at 5.
Sharks, one of the best man-up offenses in Division I a year ago, 7th. Good for second in the MAC as well, converting just under 50%. Not this time, says Bennett Wright.
Hollander working quickly out there on the bump. Only slightly delayed by having a runner on, taking an extra second to look. Grounder to short, 6, 4, 3. Ursinus turns 2 to end the 3rd inning and hold on to a 2-1 lead. We head to the 4th here in Westminster. 0-1 count to Shane Daly. Haddock fakes going, and Daly rocks one out to deep left field. That ball is carrying. That ball is gone. A 2-run shot for Shane Daly. RBI 6 and 7 for the McDaniel center fielder. And that's a crucial lead. As first pitch swinging is Ben Davis out to center field with a single and a high hop over the leaping center fielder Bowman. Will get an extra 90 feet, perhaps even 180. Davis chugging for third, and he is in without a throw. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded. The payoff pitch. Bounce through the hole on the left side. 1 run is in. Holding at third and everywhere else are the Canisius base runners, but it's an RBI single for Vivi Vargas. The carousel moves 1 turn, and it's 2-0 Golden Griffins.
And eventually the Green Terror come away with it and room to run. 1, 2, buckle your shoe on the doorstep. Jason Fritz, welcome to the party.
First pitch swinging, rips one to left. Alvarez can't get there, and it's a fair ball on the chalk. Coming all the way around from second is Alatorre, and replacing her on second is Quantz. 1 pitch, 2 bases, 1 more run for Canisius. It's 6-1.
Back to X. The Mount has not made too much happen directly from X, but definitely moving the ball through there when it sets its offense so far. A little bit of space, wraparound shot, top bins. Connor Barrett levels it, 4 apiece.
Salerno. Yes. Double-digit lead for the Mountaineers as Anna Salerno picks up the hat trick. At least 3 goals now in every single conference game this season for the senior out of Bel Air.
Try and see this ball before her swing attempt.
Swung on and missed, and that will do it. Game 1 of this doubleheader, well, Manchester is blue. It's a complete game by Olivia Manchester, and the Canisius Golden Griffins take Game 1 by a final score of 6-2. Canisius 6, Mount St. Mary's 0 as we get the 3rd inning underway. 6-7-8 due up for the Canisius Golden Griffins. Bailey Alatorre in that 6-hole to lead it off. Doubled, drove in a run, and came around to score in her last at-bat. First pitch misses high from Murphy for a ball.
If you're Murphy out there in the circle, how do you bounce back? 6 spot last inning, a team couldn't get anything going in the bottom half. What's the mindset now?
Yeah, I think there's some pressure just alleviated from the last inning where she found herself with a lot of runners in scoring position on the bases. Not really her doing coming in mid-inning, but I think now you have a clean slate regardless of the score, and you just work to get outs here. So not necessarily strikeouts, but a ground ball, a pop-up, and really lean on your defense. No pressure to be perfect, but just produce some hits here so that your team can get outs.
Fouled straight back. Count goes 2-1. Yeah, this is the first batter that Murphy's facing since coming in where the bases are empty. Came in with the bases loaded and couldn't quite clear them.
Yeah, definitely a tall task to ask of a pitcher coming in. Just trying to get some pitches that the batters can make contact with and your fielders can start to produce some outs for you.
Well, her next pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 3-1 now.
And I think right now we see her struggling to find the zone, so working back to that zone that's going to get these batters really to bite.
Instructions called out from the Mounts dugout. As Murphy's offering is lifted to deep left center field. Alvarez and Gallagher chasing back, and they will watch it go. Solo shot for Bailey Alatorre, and Canisius extends the lead to 7.
Make that 6 for Alatorre, who came into this weekend leading her team with 5 home runs. We've talked about her comeback this season after an injury last year, but just the way that she's continued to build her momentum, not allowing that stint last season to really halt her progress, but coming back so strong.
Well, after a 2-for-4 game 1 with a single and a double, how about a double and a homer to start the game for Alatorre in game 2? Now here's Natalie Quantz. Fouls one out of play. Saying that a little too many times for these Canisius batters.
Yeah, Quant's one of the few catchers that Coach Griffin will rely on, telling me that a lot of her philosophy is dependent on who's in the circle. So she has quite a few catchers that will rotate in that position and even in the DH spot.
Murphy misses low. Quant, a native of Syracuse, New York, Salt City, going just about an hour or two west to play at Canisius in Buffalo. Murphy's 1-1. Out of play again. Almost the exact same spot as the first foul.
Yeah, see from where she's fouling it off, just a little bit behind that pitch, knowing that Murphy is so quick, brings a lot of speed. Hoping to get out in front of that if you're Quantz.
Quantz waits and watches ball 2 outside. If you're Murphy and the rest of the Mount team, does that 8-run number creep into your head at all now, being down 7-0 in the third?
I think it's always there, kind of looming, just because you know that it could shorten this game. But I think kind of breaking down that score and how can we get one?
Quantz lifts one to deep left. Gallagher tracking back. Can't make the play. It's over her head. Racing for second is the Golden Griffin catcher, and she is in there with a double.
Yeah, now you know, like you mentioned, you have that number 8 runner on second base in scoring position and a part of a lineup that is really a threat. So if you're the Mount, I think you're just trying to take it play by play. How can we get outs with 0 currently? And then how can we get back to hitting and chip away at this score?
Well, Rebecca High now at the plate. Walked last inning, came around to score. And she'll take strike 1 at the knees. Obviously, hindsight's 20/20, but is there any regret, you think, from the Mount dugout about having Meyer on such a short leash?
I don't think so. I think that you go with Meyer, and she's a freshman. Try to build some of that confidence, allow her the start, and really lean on the tools that you have in the dugout. And I think the way that these Canisius bats have been so effective and just hot this weekend, it might not be a matter of who's in the circle, but more so who's in the batter's box.
It's well said. It's not for a lack of good pitches by the Mount as that one misses outside. These Canisius batters just not letting strike 3 go by him, fighting off pitch after pitch after pitch. And then after pitch.
Definitely. And Murphy, someone who, senior, mentally tough, is no stranger to these situations. So I think a good person to call on in this type of play.
Murphy gets another strike called at the knees. Count even at 2. High 0 for 2 in game 1, albeit with an E7 that drove 2 runs in. Trying to get her first hit of the day. Won't be there. Missed low and away.
Yeah, High proving that she has some offensive pop in her bat. Someone that has rotated in and gotten some opportunities on offense, but more of a threat because an opportunity to kind of turn over this lineup soon and give a whole new look to the top of the order.
The payoff. Fly ball to right center. Over is Del Giorno. She'll make the running catch. As tagging to third base is Quantz. So sac fly for High to advance the runner.
Now batting is number 4, D.D. Vargas.
And if you're High, you're probably pleased with that at bat. I don't know how pleased in the moment. As a former player, I know you get frustrated, but you move a runner and you only have 1 out. So more opportunities to score. So maybe her coach more so pleased with the effectiveness of that at bat.
It's like an RBI ground out. You know, you
Yes.
get the run in, but it's not really the result you wanted. Vargas fouls one out of play. So again, the exact same spot that a lot of these other foul balls out of play have been. Just kind of that line to the left of the Mount's dugout on the first base side, where it's a little bit over maybe the back shoulder of a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, I think telling us that a lot of these righties are just a little bit late on Murphy's pitches. Trying to get around, trying to get out in front of that ball, but another reason that they're able to extend these at-bats because time and time again they keep fouling it off and keep adjusting and adjusting until they're able to put it into play, and that's what makes them such a threat.
Once off third, the 1-1 is blooped into shallow left. Gallagher coming in, makes the catch. The runner fakes coming home, and the throw from Gallagher holds Quantz at third. So it's an F7 for out number 2.
Yeah, and you hear Coach Anna Negro saying, hit the cut, wanting her to find an infielder to throw that ball to or find someone to cut that off before coming all the way home, because just a risk. I mean, you see Olivia Murphy coming to back up that play at home, limit any damage, but a little bit more security when you hit your cutoff, and there's a better look at that play.
So now here's Alyssa Cloutier. 0 for 1 day, what an RBI walk. She bunts first pitch, charging as Murphy. Goes home, but there wasn't a force there. The only runner on was at third, so Cloutier will reach on the fielder's choice and put runners at the corners with 2 down.
Yeah, absolutely understand the intention behind that play, because more often than not we've seen a squeeze bunt situation with a runner on third and the batter bunting here at Mount St. Mary's. That's a play that we saw with Fairfield last series, so trying to get that runner at home, but also knowing that she doesn't have to go.
That'll be scored a single for Cloutier, so her first hit of the day. As first pitch swinging into center field, Alvarez settles under it and makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. But 1 more on the board for the Golden Griffins, make it 7-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd.